The indie roll. We're going to be working today with simple ponytails and rolling them into beautiful chignons to create a really edgy look. We prepped Jillian's hair today with Bliss smoothing cream and jump mousse at the root to create lots of volume. My next product that I want to grab is Surface Push Powder, again creating those great network of fibers within the base so that my pins stay really well for me, creating texture and volume, making my back combing going much easier. And also has a soy base so that when I'm working within dark hair, it's going to take on any color that I'm working with because it melts right with that natural skin temperature. So we're just tapping and pushing, tap, tap, push, all the way throughout, creating a really nice base for our updo. The first step to the indie roll is going to be to part out the front section that we'll be using to detail later. So we're going to go ahead and come in and part right behind the ears, right up at the high point of the head on both sides. We'll go ahead and twist that right out of the way. One more clip on the other side where we can come again, high point of the head, right to the back behind the ear. We'll go ahead and twist that up and out of the way for our final finish. We're going to begin by working these simple ponytails here, coming right from the top of the ear down to the bottom of the left side ear on a diagonal. That will be our first parting. We'll go ahead and we'll clip that out of the way using a surface clip, which gives me great control over the hair. My next step here is to make a ponytail, and we're going to be working just to the side of the section and right in the middle. I'm not going to worry about covering up part lines here because the roll is actually going to cover up any place we need to cover. We're going to go ahead and work with a bit of the Basu Shine Spray right at the base. And what this is going to do is allow me to grab a really nice, smooth ponytail. So we'll go ahead and grab an elastic and we'll secure it right in the center, just off to the side of the section, right behind the ear. Again, right behind the ear. And tighten that just a bit. The next section that I'm going to take is going to be in the same lines, working from about right at the corner of the rear ridge and then working right to the top of her left ear. And we'll clip that out of this way and I'll show you where we've got that right rear ridge all the way down to the top of the left ear. Again, we're going to come in with Basu Shine Spray, just at the base, just a light puff, so that I can go ahead and smooth that nicely. And again, we're going to line it up right in the center side of the section, working right above the last. And we're going to go ahead and secure that with an elastic. And then we'll just tighten that up a bit. Make sure that's nicely lined up over my last pony. And then I have one more left to create. So we'll come in again with just a light mist of the Basu Shine Spray to create that nice smooth ponytail. Coming in right above the last one. And securing it with an elastic. These can also be centered for a more proportionate look. So I've got them lined right up one on top of the other. Now what we're going to do is come right in and we'll go ahead and clip these two top ponytails out of the way because we're going to begin our rolls at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of push powder right into the hair, and I'm kind of picking the hair up here and shaking it just a bit as I do this, and this is going to allow it to distribute just lightly right through the ends. We're going to go ahead and add some back combing here, and I'm going to just very easily come in and slowly, I don't want to rough it up really bad, I just want to do a nice slow back comb. I'm going to come in with my Theory Firm here because this is going to give me that stronger hold. It's working with those Ling Chi mushroom fibers to really come in and give substance to the hair and act like a fiber base as well. And I'm going to go ahead and just comb gently over the top, and I'm going to start allowing the ponytail to just spread out a bit. If need be, I can come back in and re-back comb, but I want to try real hard just to gently comb over the top so that I don't disturb the back combing that we've created underneath. Always spraying in the direction I want it to go because I want to keep that hair nice and smooth on the top. And then we'll spray again underneath to really allow those fibers to get a nice hold for me. Make sure that's nice and smooth and it's where I want it. Then I will be grabbing my Shift Shine Wax, working with the aloe fibers for hold, the castor bean oils for flexibility, and adding tons of shine to the hair, just so that I can create a nice smooth finish. I'll go once more over with my TK2 comb here, just making sure I have a nice smooth surface. One more good mist with Theory Firm. This is going to allow me to have really nice control here. And you can see I'm just starting to pinch those ends together to create that roll. And with 2 fingers on each side, I'm just going to start working that hair into a roll. I'm just shaping it the way I want to. And as I get it to the top, instead of putting it right underneath the rubber band, I'm going to flip it right up above it. So when I pin, I'm going to pin just above and just below on either side. So I have 4 pins holding my roll. There's 2 on my right and 2 on my left. And here's where the fun begins. I'm going to be working again with my Theory Firm here. And again, those Ling Chi mushroom fibers are really going to help me to spread the updo and create a nice base and a lot of great hold and add tons of shine to that hair, but it still stays nice and flexible, so it allows me to move that roll around. And just as I need it, I'll come in and continue to spray that Theory Firm in there, continuing to spread the roll out until it's the shape that I'm desiring. So I'll continue to spread that here, and as I get to the end, I'm just going to be taking 1 pin, I'm going to open it slightly and just allow it to come in and pinch a small amount of hair to anchor the pin. I don't really want it, it's not a secure pin, just to anchor it in place. I'll take 1 more pin here, again opening just slightly, placing my roll where I wish, pinching a really small amount of hair and just holding that roll in place while I push the pin in. It's just to anchor. The Theory Firm is actually going to hold that roll in all by itself. We'll finish that roll with some Theory Firm, and then we'll begin on our second roll. So So we'll clip that top one out of the way. I'm going to again pick up my push powder. And again, I'm just bouncing that hair a bit so I can get the push powder right inside the hair to create that nice fiber base for me. And also so that my back combing is going to go much quicker. I'm going to come underneath again and just start working that back combing really nice and slow and deliberate right up underneath. And by doing this, I'm not roughing up the whole ponytail. It allows me to have more control over where I'm putting my back combing. And I really just want it underneath. Go ahead and we'll spray with that Theory Firm, again spraying in the direction that I want it to go. And then smoothing the hair out just a bit over top, real gently. Come back under if need be, add a bit more back combing. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up and spray so the flinchy mushroom fibers get underneath and get inside the ponytail for great hold. I'm going to come in with a bit of the shine wax so I can lay it just over top to add a bit of shine. And one last smoothing right over the top. Smoothing down my ends. One last mist here. And then we'll begin our roll. So again, pinching that end at the bottom, beginning my roll, and just beginning to start taking that up, allowing my hands to guide it. Now it's okay if these ends are out a little bit because I can tuck those in as I'm coming up. So I'm going to let that just rest right on top of the last roll. And again, we're going to pin 4 pins on the whole roll, working with 2 on either side. And allowing that to stay in place. And then we're going to come in with our Theory Firm here. Really allowing those fibers to get within the roll so I can continue to start spreading that hair out. If it's moving too easily, I probably am not working with quite enough spray, and that's all right. We're just going to tuck those loose ends under and continue spreading that out. And we'll finish it with 2 pins here, just to anchor the roll. And then I will have one last roll here to complete. Before we complete our updo at the top. So we're going to go ahead here and just finishing my final pinning. I'm just anchoring that in place. Again, working with Theory Firm here. And then we're going to begin to work our top. So I have just one last pin here. Just anchoring that in. And to complete our top, we're going to begin on our right side. We'll go ahead and pick up and begin our back combing. Remember, we have that push in there, so we're going to make that go right quick. And she has a left part here, but we're actually going to direct the hair across each other the opposite direction. So you can see the shapes that I'm already starting to get. Again, working with Theory Firm and shine wax on my hands so that I can smooth that out nicely without creating any frizz here. We'll start smoothing some of those flyaways and come in with that top section and smooth the hair out nicely. And you can already see how it's starting to fall right in line with the shape of the rolls. So we're going to comb that out nice and smooth, bringing it all the way to the other side until I'm ready to lift it. Working with my Theory Firm here. And I'll come right around the other side now so I can see where I'm lifting this. I want to make sure that my ends are nice and smooth, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a bit of my shine wax here. So you can work those ends nicely. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a coil. So I'm just going to take those ends and begin to coil them so now as I roll that up, we're going to rest it right on top of our last roll, and that's going to begin our top section. Go ahead and give that a couple of pins to secure it in place. Pushing that right where I want that to go. And then we'll come in with our final section. Again, we're working with push powder at the base already. We're going to go ahead and add some back combing here, right at the base to give me some nice height. We'll go ahead and work with Theory Firm here. Again, right in that direction I want the hair to move. And I'm going to comb the hair nice and smooth. Again, working gently so I don't disturb the back combing that I worked with. I'll come in with a bit of shine wax right on my fingers here so I don't create that frizz. I'm going to work it right through the ends, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start coiling the ends under, and as I coil them under, I'm going to start to rest it right on the top of the last coil that I made. And this really allows for me to close up that updo and give it a beautiful finish. We're going to mist here with our Theory Firm. Give it that nice finish. And then we're going to come in with Basu Shine Mist. And there you have it, the indie roll.